They should have killed her.
Sure.
Is that all they did?
Just to rape her.
Yeah, is that all they did? They should have killed her.
Sure.
Hope they gave her HIV.
Ha. Welcome to the Safe Space Chats podcast with Madam Speaker. Hi, my name is Perseverance Maremeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self-Love. On this podcast, we are creating a safe space for ourselves through heart-to-heart conversations, encouraging others to do the same. Just because we don't believe in the same things, we don't like the same things, we're not interested in the same things, it does not mean that we cannot coexist. So this is a safe space for you to exist even when you are different and unique. Welcome to the Safe Space Chats podcast with Madam Speaker. My name is Perseverance Maremeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self-Love. This is part 2 of our sitting with our sister Eleanor, and we're going to pick up where we left off. If you have not watched part 1, for context, please go and watch part 1 so that it'll make sense to you when you continue with part 2. My sister, welcome back.
I'm really happy to be back. Kumnandi ukubala.
You're most welcome. Sekaya. Feel at home. Feel at home.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to continue with our story, right? And we're going to pick up from when you said that your father dropped you off at your grandmother's house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it was not my grandmother's house.
Okay.
Men dropped me at a dumping site.
Oh, yes. It's a dumping site. But kind of what do you call it?
Madlanki.
Madlanki. Yes.
See, he dropped me off at Madlanki and decided to get out of my car.
Wow.
You know, Leana, what's that Mercedes-Benz story? You know, there's this meme that's going around like, get out of my...
Hey, my effing car.
Yeah.
He did that.
He did that. My
Sure.
very own daddy.
Sure.
Yeah. So I had to get out of his car like some obsessed girlfriend afuna ukudanjwa. And now at that point, angazi ukuthi ngiyaphi.
Sure.
I can't go to Grams. I can't go to his sister. Because his sister, remember, has got 4 babies, unemployed, and born. He's got enough problems of her own and does not want more, especially because your dad does not even want to help.
Yeah.
You know?
You are not her responsibility.
She's carrying her own.
Yeah.
And she's doing a fantastic job at it. Yeah, so her brother might as well carry his own load now.
Yeah.
That's her stance on it. So what I did is I went to my youngest uncle's workplace because she was a teacher. Ne? I went to her workplace. When I got there, it's during school hours, mind you. I'm a school kid myself. And when I got to her, she was in class. She was busy teaching, writing on a chalkboard. And she's surprised that kids are busy laughing. And when she turns to look at the door, I was standing there, you know. And I was looking very wretched. Now, she takes me outside and she asked me, what's wrong, what's going on? Then I told her what went wrong. And all she could do is just look at me and cry. Because there's nothing she could do to help, because even her being there with me at that point was putting her marriage
At risk.
That's how hectic the situation was.
Yeah.
You know, so there's nothing she can help with, because what is she going to do? What is she going to say? And she's just a makoti, you know. So she just took me into her class, showed me the clock, you know, those round clock, Zagdala. Showed me the clock on the wall, and she said, look at that. Do you see that? And I was like, yeah. And she said, every time when you see those hands, know that it signifies ukuthi time is going to heal everything. This is going to pass. Please go home to your rakadi. Don't say anything. Let them do anything they want to you. It is fine. When I just look at that. Don't listen to nobody. Go.
Sure.
Then I went home. When I got home, to rakadi. Now rakadi now and I upova fana no putaki. Grams might be heavy on the hand, but
Seems like it's better there than anywhere else.
aslambi, and awulale emazenkeni nini kamara okwa dikgogo ning okoka ning kamara bese. The only thing you have to begezelela
It's the hand.
That's it, you know. So I decided to go back to Grams. And Grams decided to accept me. She did not even question anything.
She probably knew you would be back.
You know,
Yeah.
yes. And I definitely was back with my tail behind my legs. Yeah, this is a matlalat wile 8. You know, because Papa on Okay, fine. So now was now if I thought Grams was strict, now she was double, if not triple.
Okay.
And now she was not only beating Katapaketlele fela, her tongue was cutting sharper than a steak knife, you know. So but then I didn't mind. I no longer cared. I was already numb to a point like even when I was being beaten, bengakhali mina bengumntana loyana ukuthi bozongishaya ngerope ngani, you can even pick up this, I won't shift, I won't flinch, I will just look you straight in the eye and wait for you to finish.
Sure.
Yeah, so I had become that cold, and I taught myself ukuthi no longer feel anything, so that no one can have the satisfaction of hating you.
Sure.
For example, even today, you can tell me ukuthi uyazi uzibani bani ushonile. I believe you, me whatever emotion you're gonna see, I have to fake it. Angazi ukuthi ngizwisisa na.
Yeah.
I don't have that. Ow, but don't worry.
That remorseful thing.
I don't know ukuthi niyithathapi. I don't know which part of your spirit that comes from. Because when I went back to Grams, I decided
To kill it.
to kill that, to switch that off. And for me, no Grams, so that we are good and we have a reason to fight. I took up smoking.
Okay.
I started to smoke deliberately so that she knows it. Because now we have a reason to fight.
Yeah.
And now angisayobuza, I won't cry because ngiyazi ukuthi ngishayile ukuthi ngibhemele phakathi kweyo storeroom ngithole kuphi udobhekwayo kuphi. Now we have a reason to fight.
Yeah.
Because I could not say sizalwela bafana was never my portion. Because of I'm very reserved. I'm not one ozongithola ngaphakathi kwabantu from kudala vele. I've been like that. So okay, it happens ukuthi ngifike ku grade 10, and was ukuthi grade 10 I was in a private school. That private school, how I landed there, Daddy-o said that I can register in the private school, he'll come pay. Then I went and I registered, they accepted me. After they accepted me, Daddy-o didn't bother paying school fees.
Sure.
That man fled.
Was this after he dumped you?
It was after he dumped me.
Okay.
But I still believed him enough.
To go register in the private school. Sure.
You know? Then I did that, then man disappeared on me, like he always does. Now, but then the school board decided not to let me go.
Okay.
They said, no, we will cover your fees till you complete your matric. So as a result, my grade 10 was in a private school. While I was there, during the year, there's exams. There's a national exam that is written by the grade 10s and the grade 11s. It's sort of like a matric exam. It's like, I don't know, they call it something international test. So on that exam for our test that time, I happened to have scored highest the entire South Africa in English.
Okay.
And we also had an award for science and maths. So everyone who managed to get these awards for the school, like the distinctions, like the school got merits from the government because of having those students in their school.
Yeah.
So those students got awarded with things like something to motivate you to do better, kind of, So the one with the science will be taken to the science. The one with the maths will be given leadership of the Maths Olympiads squad. I was given editorial of the school, like the newsletter.
Okay.
So as a result, all the students of the school who wanted their articles to feature in the school newsletter, they had to bring their articles to me so that I can edit them and I can work them into the
newspaper,
into the newsletter. So I took those home, and as a result, that was an extended school day.
Okay.
And that is 1995. It's not today whereby you're going to ask a child, why didn't you call? Ne sale di landline and nako whole ko skolong you don't even think o re ke phone le bomma. Not then anyway. That is what's happening with our kids, but with us it was not like that, So it was an extended day. As a result, when I got home, it was almost towards 6.
Okay.
When I got home, I got my grandmother and my uncle. They were sitting in the dining room. My sister was in the kitchen. And when the house is like feeling cold and everything.
It's tense.
You feel, I'm in trouble. You messed up, So as a result, how it is with teenagers. Immediately you start getting busy with nothing. I'm going to go outside, wash my T-shirt. It's going to take me 3 hours deliberately, such things. Then when I come back inside, because now I have no excuses, I have nowhere to hide anymore. When I come back inside the house, my uncle and my grandmother call me, tell me to sit down, and I'm like, oh, here comes the lecture. Instead, I'm shown the folder. Apparently, they went inside my bag. They took out the folder of the articles that from the school
gave you. Yeah.
Yes. So they show me an article from inside that folder, and my uncle says, read this. I take it and I read it. It was a poem. I read the poem. As I'm reading the poem was written, the author of the poem wrote it because she was molested by her neighbor, and that neighbor was molesting all kids all along those lines.
Okay.
So parents were not aware. These kids were not disclosing to the parents. Yet the author of that poem was writing that poem to her father, saying, I'm angry because you should have known. And I called you. You promised to always be there, but you were not. You killed me. Something like that.
Just like, expressing herself.
So as in, if daddy was there, this would never have happened. Yeah. How can it go on for this long without daddy picking up and stopping it? But then my uncle said that shows Uguti Mina, I have not changed.
Okay, so your uncle assumed the letter was from you.
Yes.
Okay.
It shows Uguti I have not changed.
Okay.
It shows Uguti I'm still the same. Angfuni ukuhlala nabo. I still wanna control myself. I still wanna I'm still I'm disrespectful. You're stubborn. So rather go back to your father. We don't want you anymore. Actually, we've already packed your things. You're leaving. Go to your father. Which father? The one who took you to Madlanki, remember? So now I'm seated there and I'm thinking, this is going wrong very fast. What can I do about this? Okay, I decide to stand up quickly and say, I'm going to go to my uncle, who's actually this one's cousin, to come talk to them, maybe tell them, no, the child actually did well, that she came late, and the article that you saw is not hers, it's somebody else's. Yeah, so I fail to think it's already past 7, meaning it's now dark. But then when you think in your brain, it makes sense. You're going to walk a distance of, I don't know how I'm going to say this. Seriously, over 50 kilometers. I'm not sure how to. People who know Mamelodi, for me, it made sense. I'm going to walk from Denebom to Ikageng.
Okay.
Meaning I'm walking Mamelodi from end to end, actually. And it's at night. And
You're not thinking about anything else at that point. You're just thinking, I just want to get to my uncle, get him to come here.
For me, it's simple. It makes sense. This thing is going to be solved. No. For me, it's even going to be a matter of 30 minutes. And believe me, it's more than a 30 minutes walk. But then for me, I'm just going to go to my uncle. Uncle Congo is going to get here. Everything is going to... And actually, my grandmother is going to... is going to buy me a present. She's going to be happy with me and everything, because my grandmother loves brains. Believe me, her love language, tell her something that is academically well, then you got my grandmother there. That's my grandma, So I thought, no, Madam Kango is going to come fix it.
Sure.
So it made sense for me. So I left. However, I did not get to my uncle. Okay. In between my home and Malum and my uncle's place, I happened to get raped.
Okay.
Nah? So I'm not going to go into the details of that. Okay. We can put that to another one should we need to. So what happened is I got raped and I disappeared for 3 days, only to be found by someone who thought that I was Konasi Zerin Makwere's daughter. Konasi Zerin Makwere is a certain lady. Because of the life that I was living, I was outside a lot, because you're experiencing rejection ngapha nangapha. And was ukuthi manje you're seeking love outside in a wrong way. So cause abafana bayangihlula ngiyenzani ngistout extra. Angazi ukuthi you get me. I was boyish, and boyish leyana enyanyisako, not tomboy leyana yokuthi bathi uyaqhaza, no. Leyana enyanyisako ustout heavy. Next thing uphezu kwesihlahla, next thing ugibele phezu kwendlokazi bani.
You were the problem child.
Yes. So Kona, that is how I draw Kona's eye. Kona was a veteran, an MK veteran. She had just come back from exile. And I think maybe she asked somebody and she was like, you're that child. And whatever, how people will. And Kona did not find whatever somebody said. How can you say that about a child? So when she called me and she sat me down and she was like, but you're quite a cool kid. Why do you decide to act crazy? And I was like, no, I'm not acting crazy. And she was like, no, from now on, if you're not at school and you're not doing anything at home, you are coming to my office, because she had an NGO, an abuse center. She was like, you're in my office every time when you're not in school and you're not at home. And I'm like, okay, cool. So most of the time I spend it with her. So most people knew me as her daughter.
Okay.
Whereas, because they did not know the backstory.
Yeah.
Yes. So because of that, during the 3 days when I disappeared, somebody picked me up from Kostrating. How, I don't know.
What do you mean disappear? Because you left home. It was a Friday, right? When you left home to go to your uncle's place.
Yes.
That's when you got raped.
Yes.
The disappearing part?
After I left where I was raped, I just wandered around.
Okay.
So
you went back to that switching off thing that you said you do on part 1.
Yes.
Okay.
So I just became a street kid.
You're
I
also
don't
not
know.
aware of what you were doing.
You know,
Okay.
probably did worse things, you know.
And then you were found by this guy.
Then I was found by this guy. I only came to, it was Monday. And when I came to because now this guy was screaming at me, you know, like trying to jolt me. Uguti, tell your mom. Uguti, I'm not the one who did this.
Okay.
Tell the truth. Tell your mother. And he's busy screaming at me, screaming at Kona. Uguti, I did not do anything to this person. I only found her wandering around. I just took her and I put her there so that she can sleep. Then in the morning, when it's safe, I can bring her to you. I really don't know where she was. I don't know what. I found her like this. Ask her, you know. Then my mom was like, okay, fine. What's going on with you? Then I told her I was raped. And she was like, okay, when? And I was like, Friday. And she was like, which Friday? And I was like, this Friday. And she was like, okay, where were you? And I was like, with him. And the guy was like, when? And I was like, Friday. The guy was like, Kona, I did not. I don't know anything about this. I just picked her up yesterday and it was already matha. Apparently, so he was like trying to his best to deny and detach from the whole thing, you know, because kuna sizirini makhwere nabeta. That's one thing Komamlodi never meets is nabeta because she was already boiling and the guy was thinking, oh, this is gonna be pinned on him. So I just told her, no, it's Friday. And Kona said, but it's Monday. And I was like, well, I mean, I don't know. And Kona was like, okay, fine. She got angry and thought, I'm lying and whatever. Called my Grams, you know, where's the child? My Grams was like, I don't know. And she was like, no, you're sitting there and you didn't care. Nobody cared to. Okay, if you didn't care, why didn't you tell me? Tumtana disappeared. They told her whatever they told her. I don't know what they told her. And she was like, no, let's meet at my office because we have a problem. We have a serious problem. Then when my family came, Gona told them, okay, fine, now we are having a situation here. Because in the office was my Grams was there, my uncle was there, my sister was there, my older sister. Gona then told them, we're having a situation now where umntwana went and got raped. And I'm worried because when I called you, it seems like
you didn't care.
You didn't care. My Grams' answer was like, why never samulai?
As in, why didn't they kill you?
Yeah, they should have killed her.
Sure.
Is that all they did?
Just to rape her?
Yeah, is that all they did? They should have killed her.
Sure.
Hope they gave her HIV.
Ha!
Is that why you called me here? If I'm not doing such a good job, take her to your house. Stood up, left.
Just like that?
Yes. Now Kona is sitting there wondering what just happened. Not what kind of. You can't even get to that part because now you're still asking yourself, what something happened, but I'm not sure what happened, but something just went wrong here. So, because now these people left her with their kid.
And they don't care.
She's like wondering, do I take her back to these people? What am I doing? Do I call the cops?
Seems like she's in more danger with these people because they wish her death.
You know, do I call the cops? What do I do? You know? So what she did is she called the cops and called the district surgeon. Now, okay, then the cops decided to start with the district surgeon, then it will come to us. Was Lesos Kati, the district surgeon back then, it was a man, and Mamludi was operating only on one district surgeon, you know. So that becomes secondary victimization on its own. You were raped by a man, and now you have to take your clothes off for this man. Sure. And they are not even explaining to you properly, Uguti, why are you... But then it's not like bayenza anything oku wrong. It's like it's procedure that time. Yeah, this is because then now they have to check you for venereal diseases and whatever, treat you, make sure you're not pregnant, and take impahla for forensics and whatever not, and swap you so that they can have the forensic evidence and their forms. And then after that, I go home.
So where do you go? Your grandmother's house?
My grandmother's house.
Okay. And when you get there?
Nothing happened.
So they didn't kick you out anymore? They just kept quiet? But that issue of you being raped, they don't entertain it?
This is the deal.
Okay.
We skip. It never happened. You shut up, I shut up. Impilo imnandi siya phambili.
Sure.
Don't ask me anything. Will. Okay. Ulukisitse uniform. Okay. Now, kusho ukuthi manje already it's your cue, you know ukuthi manje nasi sport wena continue.
If you dare mention that one, it's going to go back to that day and what you did on that day, so you'll be kicked out. So for you to buy your position in this house, you keep quiet about the rape.
You see? So now the police, they come and they ask about the statement and whatever not. Because I'm sure after the statement, they have to come and recheck ukuthi you won't change whatever it is that is in the docket, like maybe release a Mavigo or something, then they come. Okay, that detective came and my grandmother short of told them that, do you know her? Yeah, wamitsi ditori tsa hai. Maditori. Liar of note.
Ha.
So the detective just warned me, once we are taking this case forward, you don't have the right to withdraw it and whatever not. You know, you can't then come say when you didn't say, you said, and all of those things. By that time, I was no longer interested, you know.
Because you could see you're not getting the support.
Because eskolweni, the person who raped me is actually my senior at school. And he's a rich kid from a rich family. Only to find that he's a rich kid from a rich family. His mom is actually my grand's friend. So these two houses are family friends. So hence my grandmother reacted very offish when he had his name, because now it means it was gonna compromise the two family relationships, and both families are powerful according to them.
So they traded you and your justice for the family relationship,
as far as I'm concerned, because I did not even hear it from anyone, any member of my household, that actually these two families have a relationship. It was somebody unrelated. You know what? This one, ask his motorele, mama hai na tlhokofetse. Mama hai na tlhokofetse. Maybe that is why wait. Mara koko hao kante na hao botsa ke re ke best friend hai. And that time it was supposed to be a secret, not even family. Till to this day, family members don't actually know. Most family members don't know that I was once raped. That is supposed to be swept under the rug. You know, as with everything else, when things happen, we simply just pick up the rug and put the mud there, and we supposed to move on like nothing ever happened.
Sure.
You know? And ngapha eskolweni now they are asking me, Ugutu, what do you want us to do? We are calling a disciplinary hearing because such a case has come to us. You tell us when we get to the hearing, what are we supposed to do? And I was like, I don't know. They were like, we were thinking of expelling him. And I was like, not on my account. Because they are asking me for my permission.
Because you are now you don't have any support whatsoever. So even if you say you are going ahead with it, you are on your own.
And now I am supposed to say that he must be expelled from school, so that I must be known as the one who ruined his future. The futureless one, ruining the future galo. Because mina ngulo yana yokuthi even ekhaya mabakhuluma, that's their language. you'll never amount to anything.
Sure.
Wena se o tlo bang sona ke malala pipe.
Sure.
Even uma bana bangani bahlanganisa ini yona leyo. You understand?
Sure.
So, okay, iyadlula leyo, the case disappears like the way they wanted. It disappears. It disappears in a case till to this day. I don't know what happened. I decided ukuthi, even though I have that scholarship at the college, I decided no goodbye, no nothing. Didn't go back to the school. Just went back to the township school that I was at and decided to continue with my life there. Did my grade 11 there. But then even then, bengasa enjoy iskolo because iskolo manje, it was like, angazi, it was traumatic. Ukuhlala ngaseklasini, it's because you can still hear the voices of your schoolmates, labiana le. Mara MMP, rebotseng, kanete nete le ra hore Jomo yena o. Awu mara mo lebeleng Jomo. Mo banyaneng bo botlhabale.
Sure.
You understand?
So you have to live with that stigma of being a liar and somebody who would pin something like that to somebody, even though you know it's the truth and it happened.
And not only do I know is the truth, he confessed. Everybody's denying on his behalf.
Yeah, not the old...
he never denied it.
Sure.
He never denied it. From the first moment, he did say, she's not lying. I did it. I'm sorry. So I don't know what got into me. I'm sorry.
So how then does that affect your life when you enter adulthood now?
Yeah. Now, when I enter adulthood, I entered adulthood at a point yokuthi wazi ukuthi manje ekhaya baye bangiqosha futhi.
Okay.
Because the following year after that, it happened ukuthi I was nominated for ANC to be the secretary of the ANC Youth League in Mamelodi. Then, based on that, they decided ukuthi there's a post a union buildings. They want me to be a youth liaison officer for the Youth League. Yeah, and it was going to do something for my career. They were like selling it very good. So because of that, I went home. I think it was 4:00. When I got home, I think it was 4:00. I got home, ngathola ugogo paki impahla zami ngeswarsak. And my grandma and my own brother decided to yazi mabathi dudula style. Pick you up, put you estradini, ukuthi thatha masakana wakho, like a lwabishu, leave.
So chasing you out of home has always been a constant thing, in and out, in and out, in and out. So what do you do then after that?
Laila ukuthi, they even tell you ukuthi, I get otepone rotseni mo kae. Otepone mo tseneng mo teng. We show hore go sa butse. And you can never say anything because whatever you say, you must remember.
Sure.
And it doesn't matter, you must know to your friends.
Like you're literally on your own, from your mother's side, your father's side, you have been abandoned.
Yes. So as a result, that got me to now go into self-sabotage mode. Okay. I automatically switched. Remember I said I was a tomboy and naturally nekele stout. I was very energetic. So I switched from that to being violent.
Okay.
Like downright violently violent. You know, I will buy fights that don't belong to me.
Sure.
All you had to do was to say, Eleanor, my boyfriend beat me. I'm going to beat him for you.
Sure.
Just come and say, so-and-so raped me. I'm going to make sure I land him in an ICU.
Sure.
I just became that girl. Some people even ended up even having to go to my grams and threaten her when we get her, we're seriously gonna kill her. Because I was not just attacking people, I was attacking people at their homes. Because when you tell me your boyfriend did 1, 2, 3, I'm not gonna go to your boyfriend on the corner. I'm gonna go to your boyfriend ekibo, kunomamakhe nomalumakhe na whatever. We're gonna go inside that house balele ebusuku, and whatever happens to everyone who's in the house. I became an animal. There's no other way to describe it. And I convinced myself ukuthi it was not me. He's the one.
He deserved it.
He deserved it.
Yeah.
Shaye perseverance. Umamakhe kubumonile. Umamakhe must raise him right. Now he knows. Now he knows. So I will tell myself those type of things every time whenever I go on a rampage. Now had to work overtime because some people will be bringing cases and Kona will have to shield and, go back and all of those things, people are hunting you and you don't even see that actually you're in danger and there are people who are behind you who are like begging people not to hurt you. Whereas when you are just thinking when you are feared, and you are not being feared, it's like people are just scared of if only your mom was not your mom, being Gonasizarin Makwere. Because for Bona, they think she's your mom. And they're thinking touching you is touching her, and they are becoming in trouble with her, And that was not the only thing it was out of line. I remember I got a scholarship. It was from Gold Leaf. It came with a visa and everything, and they said that they wanted me to go study in their university somewhere in Lagos. It was 98, I think. I took that visa and everything and abandoned. I remember my Rakadi was like, what the hell? What are you doing? What's wrong with you? Exactly what is wrong with you? And I said, these things, they come from Grams and my sister because they want to get rid of me. So, because they want to get rid of me, they want me to go to Lagos. I'm not going to go to Lagos. They're going to sit here. They'll be disgusted by my face. They'll see me every day. I'm not going nowhere.
Sure.
So I turned down that scholarship. 99, I think it was. University of South Illinois decided to say, through Kona, because they saw me at an HIV conference, which was held then at UNISA, because it was done by medical professionals. For some reason, they invited me to come deliver a paper. Why? I don't know, because everybody else there was medical professionals. So I went there to it was because I had a case, because by then I was already working for Kona. I was a lay counselor. So I had a case. That case, it was of a young girl who happened to be raped on Christmas Day. She was 13, 12, and she contracted HIV. Within 5 months, it has already escalated beyond AIDS, because the question that was being answered in that conference was, what exactly is AIDS? So, Bonabati, it takes 20 years for somebody to be to get to the AIDS status. And I was saying, we have a case, and within 5 months, our child died. And the parents are not HIV positive. This child was not HIV positive, and whatever. That was the paper that I was delivering. So how I delivered it, the University of South Illinois loved the presentation that I did, and they decided to contact Kona and say, do you mind if we take your child? Because even they thought I'm Kona's child, and they were like, do you mind if we take your child? We're gonna take her to medical school, because we had at the conference that she's not a trained medical anything. But then the way she spoke, we're thinking that no, it's a waste to just keep her without making sure we put her to good use. And I was like, no problem. You can come through and we'll talk to her. They came through and she didn't know me beforehand. They came and they sat down and they were like, we're going to take you to South Illinois. We're going to pay medical school for you and everything. You're going to be a doctor. We're thinking that you'll be well suited and whatever. And I was like, where? They were like, South Illinois. And I was like, where's that? They were like, America. And I was like, I'm not going. And I was like, what's wrong with you?
Self-sabotage one more time.
Yes. What's wrong with you? Why? And I was like, I can't swim. I was like, are you okay? What did you say? And I was like, I can't swim. And was like, what's that got to do with anything? And I was like, if I get there and get homeless, how am I supposed to make it back home? Because at least if I'm in South Africa, I can walk from anywhere and get here.
It's that thing that because you've been rejected so much, you've been homeless so much, you are thinking everywhere you go, you'll be rejected and be back on the streets.
You're going to go to Nigeria, they show you the door. Whose door are you going to run to?
That's your biggest fear.
You go to America, they show you the door. Whose door are you going to run to? There's rivers and lakes and oceans to jump. Keep accommodation more. Yet you're saying you're going to keep it there.
Sure.
So Dinosa decided to come through. Dinosa came through and they were like, no, we heard that you turned down such and such a scholarship. Man, think about it. Tina, we can't counter the offer that those ones made. But then, Tina, we can make sure you get into nursing. And you will be paid, those things that they will tell you. You'll be paid and everything will be nice and whatever. And I was like, I don't want it.
Okay.
Or that one my sister actually got hold of. My sister was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I'm not a nurse. And she was like, so nursing is... did you just say that nursing is beneath you? And I was like, no. And she was like, what are you saying? And I said, I am not a nurse. I'm not doing it. And my sister was like, if you're not a nurse, what are you? And I was like, anything but a nurse. Sure. I don't want nursing. So I turned that down. And now, because my sister spoke out, because of her, now I want to show her what serious, I can make up my own brain. I'm not gonna
do it.
I'm not gonna do it. Okay, fine. That one passes. The following year now, I'm gonna turn 21. My sister says, no, man. Says, look here, let's do this. You are growing. You are growing. You're no longer cute now. There's things that you were doing, they were cute then, but then now you are growing. It's no longer cute. Now let's get serious with life. I know you are angry. I know everything. Let's put it all behind us. I will pay. We are going to do a post-matric, then take you to Medunsa. I will pay this Medunsa here. You don't need to swim. There's no nothing. And you're not going to be a nurse. So are we going to do that? And I was like, okay, yes, we're going to do that. Because now, angsana intolan manje, by that time, I'm in a different zone. Lailuguti manje, I'm like, just make peace with everyone. But
I'm
not make peace.
Fighting.
Not make peace, Yoguti, make peace because everything must be right. No. Make peace, so long, whatever makes them happy is fine.
It's whatever.
Agree with anything. Agree. No, if they give you chilies, they say imonate. It's fine. So I was not in agreement with this post-matric, whatever. Not because it was not a good idea. Because I was on a different trajectory then. Because I was thinking, I'm all alone la emhlabeni. I want somebody who's for me, somebody who's gonna choose me. So who's that going to be? Maybe get a boyfriend? No, these people are not loyal. So, young as I was, I knew men are just not loyal. They're not gonna do it. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna create a human being.
Okay.
That's 21-year-old brain. That time is like when out
Create somebody who's going to be loyal to you.
yes, I'm going to create somebody who's loyal to me. So what am I going to do? Just get a random Joe and we're going to make a baby. It's as easy as that. That is how I got to have my firstborn.
Wow. At least it was a planned baby.
It was a planned baby because he was made to be there for me.
Sure.
I designed him. He came mulfatsing anale mereko.
Sure.
Hore wena o tlo nrata whether I'm green, blue, yellow, it doesn't matter. Whether I'm right or wrong, you stand by my side. He came in with a duty, like you're my protector, you have my back. You know, unfortunately, he did not come. You know, when you're making a baby, you're making them with that thing, I'm going to protect you. You shall see no evil. You shall. Mina, it was vice versa.
You are going to protect me. All the things that I never got from other human beings, you're going to give me that.
Yes.
Sure.
So he came in with that, and unfortunately, that became our relationship.
Sure.
Now he's the one who gives the love. He's the one who nurtures. He's the one who tries to say, let's make the home homely. He's the one who says, let's create the warmth. He's the one who says, you know, everything that I said he is that and more. But then it's heavy on him.
Sure.
It's heavy because now it's killing him. Because now he does not understand what's going on with this picture. Because now we are at this point, la ili uguti, now umtana ubegilo uguti, this woman does not have family. We have grandma, yes. But then something is wrong on the picture, man. This picture is because ekaya guso, my grandma, like she has 4 babies, but my grandma ke Maria Mahoje, so we don't know whose father. Maraki Mrs. No. It's not like she doesn't know.
She knows.
Because she's a Mrs. She's Mrs. So-and-so. They are her husband's children. These kids are her husband's children. The husband that we don't know. Maybe her kids know. We don't know because nobody ever speaks about the men. Angazi ukuthi ikhona enye family la ilukuthi ditloholo like wena, you don't know ntatemholo how. Libitso la hae ke mang. A simple thing like libitso la hae.
Why is it? Is it because she didn't want to share that information with any of you? She didn't want you guys to have a relationship?
No, because even that was even that is a weird thing on its own because when we turn 16 go high, we get a story. You go krekeng wa amoghelwa, and then ho wa amoghelwa you'll be 16 or going to 16. And then immediately after the kamogelo, my grandma is gonna take you aside and tell you a story.
Okay.
I don't know what's inside the story. But then whatever the story is, the second time, the confirmation. And I went for the confirmation, not because Kenya go confirm, those were not my kind of things, but then I wanted the story. I was turning 16, I was super excited.
Well, eventually you're going to get the story.
Story at home. I'm grown. You know, teenagers. Yeah, now I've got that thing. Story. You know, and then unfortunately, katsatsi la di kamogelo he le fitla o itse re le letsatsi le go next tse ke kubile go gae kere but then ke kreke go gae ne they decided deliberately or they're not going to go to church on that day ke tsatsi la di tlhomamiso kere so they're not going to go to church. The only person who was in church that day was my brother. If they were there, I did not see them. The only person who was there was my brother. And then we do hore le diaparo tsa ne ke diapereng ne le diaparo tsa o khomantshiwa e tlhaka mo next door di tlhako di rekile ke maniaka the one o na fierelang lenyalo la hae and le yena o nyonyobile a di tlisa you tell no one I gave you these shoes. Hona ba I can say hore she actually gave me shoes because the marriage she was protecting unfortunately dissolved anyway. But then tsatsi leo la di kamogelo, when I got to church, they were not there. Church is packed, and then re ko pele a ke tso reng ke lo bona ka di tlhomamiso ho ba byang ka mokrekeng. Like if that's the pulpit, bana bo kunama on the pulpit, because the pulpits are traditional churches, di na le di steps, so they are not like ba bazalwane. Tsa bazalwane e ba on ka stage. Tsa like bo wesele bo Roma, iba like mobile. Yes. So le khunama mo di stepsing tsa mobile, cause ntwe ya moruti mo agere. Hele khuname mo mahautlo khunama mo ntata ha wa khuname mo ebe ngwana mongwe be mme be ntate be, so he fitla mo nna ke nna fela, then ba bangwe ba le it continues ke mmele ke ntate. Then moruti o tswa ka selallo o fa wa mathomo selalo o anwa, and then o ba fa dikano ba bolela dikano beke, and there's the graduation. Wa utlwisisa the 6 months ba le ruta just fela or lo ira that dikano ko pele ke lo bona. So ha fitla monna he decided to skip. So moruti o la ntima selalo antebeletse ne. So what happened after that ke hore no hona le madodana se wesel the ones vele babaleng ntwenge he o mo one wa bona, like the leader ya bona a emella a tlhobola baiki because we are known ne a tlhobola baiki a fa butwaka ke lo bona, and like hit my brother on, like to signal him how you're going to be a man. This is where you pitch up. And when you're just sitting here, if there's no father to sit there, then you are the father. You go stand there. So my brother came, but no more na shame. He's the most embarrassed. He does not want to be there. Because we saw immediately rutina jumper. You know how it is. Now everybody's like, okay, fine. Abutaka wa kunama mo mruti wa jika yanong witsore yanong nasetsa le ko number 3 kwa tshwantsa boe yanong atlofida nna a ke sa khatlha ke selo. I'm just waiting for the amen so that I can go home. Okay, the amen comes, I go home and I wait for the call to say, you're a woman now, come take the story. Till to this day, I'm still waiting. Sure. On my 18th birthday, I even bought a cake and went to her and said, Grammy, I am 18. And she was like, oh, happy birthday. And I was like, oh, okay.
What do you feel like is the biggest thing that your grandmother has against you as a child of her daughter that she resents so much compared to all the other children?
I don't think my grandmother resents me. I think my grandmother actually loves me the most. But then unfortunately, I had to be fathered by that man.
Okay.
Whether she likes it or not.
So her resentment towards that man reflects on you.
Whether she likes it or not. That man is my father.
Yeah.
And there was no way I could have been that model child. Which child must be made to...
So to a certain degree, she felt betrayed by you because over and over again, you still wanted to have a relationship with your father. And she was against that.
Exactly. Till to this day. Yes, ke a lutla o robile bo sister matsogo. We really this. O bethile mama ka patla ya motse. I hear that. I understand that. I still love him.
But he's your father.
Put me in acid then. Give me new DNA then. Why would we say?
Sure.
So as a result, kajeko o fitla mo ileng hore o te kreya e le gore you have traveled so far from your purpose because of anger. Because now you are fighting this battle, and we are re na le nthweng ela ya hore I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor.
Sure.
Ne?
Well, we just, kill that.
Yes, I'm a survivor. Na, he thinks he didn't whatever. It was just my body and whatever. It was only in 2017 where I was like, I am not a survivor. I did not survive.
You're tired of being the strong one.
Yes, I'm tired. I did not survive nothing.
You were a victim. You were victimized.
And I am tired of people telling me to get over it.
Sure.
I'm tired of people saying, "O sallela mama ha nka tlhaella mo tla mo shupa."
Sure.
Hore, okay, fine. Nka se mo shupe, what does it mean?
It invalidates you being able to grieve for your mother or cry for your mother.
Wa tlhalohanya mo ileng hore because it should actually stand alone, because believe me, if we go into spirituality, we're not gonna come out. Like me and my sister, we're only gonna close it on that one.
Sure.
Ne? Me and my sister, we had a fight because, like I said, I'm spiritually gifted. My sister is gifted in ministry.
Okay.
Ne? And then Mina, I believe in Amadlos.
Yes.
I've been down the ministry road. It did not heal me. I was just ke batlile. It's any passage kaofela tsa ministry. I did not find healing in there. But then tizomengeza ngapha. Nyayibona ukuthi no yafita. Ne? So I can't go down this road because I don't know this road. I called my sister and say, come walk this road with me. We are wathalohanya hore, support me. Help me rebuild my life. Help me fix the mess I made. And I am not blaming anyone for the setbacks that are in my life because they are major, because the rape is not the reason for my setback. The rejection was not the reason for my setback. Those were just, what do we call it? It's like motu file koloi. I started. I'm the one who drove from there and drove it way off the bridge. It was me by myself. I take full accountability of that, even though nobody bothered to ask me how I am. Nobody bothered to say, we are sorry. Nobody said, "Ngwana hatlek a manual." We were trying our level best. All we were doing, we were disciplining you. No one meant to hurt. That's all I wanted to hear. Ukuthi, mistakes happened. That day, no one expected you to walk off. We did not expect what came after.
Yeah.
But then no. Bona is like,
Pretended like it never happened.
no, it never happened. Rejection, no, never happened. Instead, they will pin it on you like, hore, by 3. Ratlha wana oli wano special kang wena. Usoma. You know? In any case, hona yanong, going back to this one, I called my sister to say, please walk down this road with me. And well, she said nothing. She dropped the phone. Then she called back, I think 3 days later or something. And she was like, Deborah, I called back just to tell you something. And I was like, yes. And she was like, should you ever in your life tell me about that I'm going to disown you, and this time I'm going to disown you for good.
Sure.
And I did not hear the Twasa part. Believe you me. I understand gore ke mzalwane. I understand gore she does not like
does not believe in what you believe in.
And I'm not saying she must.
Yes.
It's not an invitation. We are not recruiting more. I am saying support me.
As your mother's child.
I'm going down a road. Do you mind seeing what I'm seeing? Let's see it together. You know? Of course, I know I'm calling you but then I will be satisfied. I'm ready for that. So long as you are here, I'm satisfied. To show that this time you chose me. I came to you saying, choose this time. This time you have your own bag. Ain't nobody can disown you. I'm saying, choose me. And then your answer is, this time when I disown you, I'll disown you for good. So that means when you sat there and they threw me out and I got raped, that was a conscious choice. Now I'm taking Muti. That was a conscious choice. When my brother Bamukukisa Swarsak to throw me out, I have to take it now. That was a conscious choice.
You chose not to be there for me.
You chose not to be there for me. There's a time mo ilong hore yana le obutwaka sele balwana and balwana go ya ka nna ne balwantshitse ke pastor ya uswaka and I really don't understand when church e baka khotlang mo gare ga batho. Like I can be excessively aggressive. I attack the pastor. I straight out attack the pastor because I am sitting there. I'm waiting for a time. My sister and my brother are going to remember where they've got a younger sister. Ne? I'm sitting here being consoled by her. At least bonaba close. They are a unit because they are very close. They are bonded. They are
and
like this.
It has always been like that.
It has always been like that. Romeo and Juliet, where you see one, you see the other.
So when you've always been like the black sheep.
Many people actually don't even know that they are not
siblings with them.
You know? So this meant to go ayobalwanza and balwe mo ilong hore when it gets to me, it's like batu babangalelane. Now they even separated. This one will stay in that house. This one, when I don't ever touch my kids again. And I was like, I do manjalo. So I went to the pastor and I attacked the pastor. So my sister decided, Uguti, from now on, I want nothing to do with you. And while you're at it, because my sister at that time was helping me take care of my firstborn. It was like, while at it, I want nothing to do with your son anymore. Come pick up your son. I don't keep banabadi murderers. You're a murderer, and you know that.
So in closing, my darling, for this part, because I know we are probably going to come back here for another part.
Yes.
What would you like to be a lesson or an awareness that you would like to raise out there about the journey that you have walked? Well,
for parents, I need for parents to know, and family members. Ne? First, let's start Pelokodi family members. Stop being selfish. Stop thinking for yourself. And if you have an orphan in the house and you know Guti, that orphan is too much, there's a reason we have social development. Hand that child to welfare and rid yourself of matata. Honale SOS for a reason. Give that child. There are women babasabeleching who will be more than happy to pick up that bundle that you don't want.
Yeah.
Right. And when it comes to like parents, I will say mothers and fathers. In this case, I will say mother in the form of my grandma, because she took that part. She became mother even today. She's the one who stands up as that, you know. I will say it's very much unfair. A child has no business choosing sides between the mother and the father. Uguti ubaba khona akatengi ama pampers wena uwebo uhlala the whole night uyiwani. mntwana akangena endawo lapho ubephuthi uliwani, it was your choice. If it was so hectic, you should not have done it. You should have given up that baby for adoption if that was too much. And then I have 2 siblings. You know, if you are not going to choose each other, we are entering an era right now, and believe you me, it's already starting to happen. We are entering an era whereby kaosane re dilo ke culture, ke everything culture. Now we are going into incest relationships. Tsaka bomo.
Sure.
Bana ba robala le bontate wa bona. Bana ba robala le bo butu wa bona. Not because they chose that relationship, but because that relationship chose them. Because ngwanona sa tsebe ntate wa hae ke mang. Because ngwanona sa tsebe re abuti wa hae ke mang. I'm saying that because now in my family, my child does not know any of his siblings. He's 22 years old. We've got a sister, we haven't touched. We'll touch on her when we're discussing spiritual matters. She's actually my sister's twin. Even when I hang mom, I can meet maybe now. I won't know.
So it's a crisis, us not knowing each other and abandoning each other.
Me and you, I don't know your kids. How normal is that? Angazi. And everybody thinks that I am crazy for asking, when did we become these people? Is this really normal? Is this really what we want? My sister says, what does that even mean? And nkane hore motas nang tabalena, this person did not reject you. He was rejected because I know that we are the family enaling das binia bato. Hence okonobuwa wena self. Hore, I will disown you and I will never look back.
Sure. That's simple.
It's that simple. Kore, you are that insignificant. That's how much valueless you actually are. Hore hosting bon. Haona mo go shotang.
Sure.
And then ntho ke yona e o tlo krang bana ba motho e se khale ba re ba bolayana and all of those things, because now kaosane you don't understand the pain ya, or cause but ngezulu bathi umenzi uyakhohlwa kodwa umenziwa akakhohlwa. Hence ko haile hona yanong they expect me to be the bubbly and whatever, because once you say something they're like, when 7 years, you were 7 years, when how old are you? But then for me it's fresh. For when I was 7, for now it was yesterday. Because I am still today, I'm still waiting for that story. I don't understand why my sister and my brother had it and I didn't. And I don't understand why modi family and I said, that is not just my story. The story that I'm telling now does not make me special. That is what South African households are now. And umankata kuphela kuvele kuphume ona lezi zinto lezo kuthiwa kuyathwasiwa kwenziwa ini, is because we've strayed from far from. Hence I said to you, my life, the life that I led is what brought me to this gift. Because I strayed from my purpose. So now spirit is gonna come and force you back. You are not gonna exit this plane without doing what you were supposed to do. It's like if you were sent here to be a doctor, and when you go to HR, life will find a way to come back and make you a doctor. Be it to uzayoba igedleke and go around identifying cancer bush trees ezindlini zabantu, so that you can go be that doctor that you were meant to be. So I think for mina, that is what brought me. And that is into leyo eluguti etsa gore go tsoge sedimo. Le ntse le ya go dikolong le rapella bana go thuntse moya. But then le ya kwalela rapela, but then you're still not as families willing to be honest. Because this spirit itunya, because an alignment is supposed to gubuyelwe esiswini. A ke rapele gore motho a tlo mpatella rent and thekele dijo a ire eng. Allow me to know you are my sister, for my kids to know that you are their aunt, this is their cousins, and whatever, they are welcome to come to your house. But they must know when you call and you say my house needs painting, it means their other mom called. But then we no longer have that as South Africa.
Sure. Hi, Bazalwan. With that being said, I know that we still have to do a part 3 where we are going to be touching a lot on spirituality. But for today, we are going to have to leave it here with my sister. I have learned so much, and I hope this podcast or this episode is going to change your life in a positive way. It's going to make you, do some self-introspection on where you are in every area of your life where you need to improve and do better for one another, and also to look back and reflect on maybe some things that you have done to one of your family members that you feel like, you know what, it was nothing then. But if you are watching this video and you've watched it till the end, may it convict you so that you can go and rectify those mistakes so that you can come together again and become one. With that being said, thank you so much for joining in. I'll see you on the next upload. Thank you to my guest. I love you. God bless you. Mwah.